Today, we're going to talk about sunscreen and we'll be doing a product review on this particular sunscreen, the Nivea UV Super Water Gel 50 SPF 50 PA+++. I used this product and it didn't work out well for me, and I'm going to share my experience, but that does not mean it might not work well for you. So, let's get right into today's video. Now, when you want to get a sunscreen, there are majorly two types of sunscreen, which like different brands they make their sunscreen. Either they are making a mineral sunscreen or they're making a chemical sunscreen. Now, this is a chemical sunscreen and it's a Japanese sunscreen. So the words are inscribed or they are written in Japanese language. What a chemical sunscreen does is it absorbs into your skin. It forms like a sheet or a layer or like a sponge that will absorb the UV ray, convert it to heat, then release it out. That is what a chemical sunscreen will do for you. But a mineral sunscreen, on the other hand, is going to sit on top of your skin and reflect the light out. So it's scattering the light outside. So instead of it to penetrate into your skin, it's going to scatter the light outside. But a chemical sunscreen is going to absorb into your skin, form like a protective shield, absorb the UVA or UVB light, and turn it into heat and like produces it out. For chemical sunscreen, they make use of octinoxate, avobenzone, oxybenzone, UV-Pol A+. Those are like the ingredients they use. Now, for mineral sunscreen, they make use of titanium oxide and zinc oxide, right? Now we get that clear. So you know, okay, next time, do you want your sunscreen to sit on top of your skin or you want it to absorb and do the job? Now, if you're more of like a sensitive skin like me, you should opt for mineral sunscreen. But if you have like normal to other type of skin type that don't overreact, you should use more of chemical sunscreen. Now, another thing you need to know is SPF 50 PA+++. These are not just numbers that are sitting pretty on your sunscreen. They have a particular function. SPF is sun protection factor. Now, this SPF 50 is what helps you when it comes to the UVB ray. UVB means ultraviolet rays for burning. The B in the UVB is for burning. UV is ultraviolet, B is for burning. On the other side, UVA is ultraviolet ray for aging. The A is for aging. Now, this SPF 50 is for the UVB, right? Now, this PA plus is for the UVA. Now, if you want to know, now A aging, right? UVA. So this PA++ protects you from UVA. Now SPF 50 protects you from the UVB. SPF 50 is actually going to protect your skin 50 more times the time the sun on a normal hand when you don't use sunscreen is going to damage your skin. Now this will give you protection 50 times. But the reasons why they will tell you, oh, reapply sunscreen after every 2 hours is that things might tamper with the protection factor. For example, you're sweating, you know, like I told you that, oh, it's going to absorb into your skin, convert it to heat. Now, sometimes water, all those things. Now, they tamper with it. So, in as much it's going to protect you 50 times than the normal time when you don't wear sunscreen, those other things are also affecting the protection power. So it's going to reduce. And that's why they always tell you reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours. There's a reason for that. I know sometimes when you guys apply sunscreen, you say, oh, you still have sunburn, you're still aging. Sometimes it's the way you apply your sunscreen. Now, what you guys do that you guys don't know, when it comes to chemical sunscreen, you don't just apply the sunscreen and go directly to the sun. No. Now, the sunscreen has not penetrated well into your skin to form like a protective shield that will actually absorb the sunscreen and convert it to heat. That is why you see when you also like apply your chemical sunscreen and you go out, it might not necessarily do anything for you because you've not done the job. Now, when you use a chemical sunscreen, what you have to do is you allow it to sit and form like a protective layer inside your skin for 15 to 20 minutes, right? So it does the job very well. So your sunscreen might not necessarily be the cause, it's how you're actually applying it that's the problem. when it comes to chemical sunscreen, they don't just work directly like faster. But when it comes to mineral sunscreen, you just apply. It does not need to like, oh, wait for 15 to 20 minutes for it to carry out the job because it's sitting on your skin and it's like scattering the light out. So you see the difference between a chemical and a mineral sunscreen. Now we know what SPF 50 does. Now for PA plus, the higher the pluses, the highest plus is 4. Now this one is 3. The higher the plus number, the better for you. Now this one is going to protect you from aging, right? Which is the UVA sun. So when you're getting a sunscreen, first of all, it must have both SPF SPF of like, oh, 15, 30, 50, and 100. Now, one thing you should know is that no sunscreen is going to protect you 100%. I think the IS is 99%, and that's what SPF 100 does. And I don't think there's a sunscreen that actually have SPF 100. The most common one is SPF 50. I'm just going to put like a chart about how the SPF numbers actually protect you, right? So when you're getting a sunscreen, first of all, look at the SPF number and the number of pluses in your sunscreen. So now that we have the knowledge about this common thing about sunscreen, right? Let's talk about this baby here and my own experience with this baby here. Now, if you want to transcribe it to English so you understand or what's inside this product, what you can do is simply take a picture of the back, upload that picture to ChatGPT, and ask it to convert the words to English for you. Now, if you don't trust AI, because majority of you still don't believe in AI and what they can do, if you don't trust AI, good and fine. I'm going to be telling you what again you can also use to compare and contrast or what you saw from ChatGPT or any other AI app to know what's actually in your skincare products. Like I said, either you take a screenshot, upload to ChatGPT and tell it to transcribe the words to English for you, or you come to this site. It's going to be in the description box, called insidecoder.com. What it does is, look, this is the site, right? Insidecoder.com. Now I typed the name of this sunscreen. It tells you the ingredient. Now you can see the ingredients here. Ethanol. This was what triggered my skin. Ethanol is an alcohol that's a solvent. So what is solvent? They help your product dissolve well together. For example, a very good solvent I will say is water. So when you want to make your tea, you know that water is what is needed for you to put your milk, your sugar, for everything to actually dissolve well and form your tea. Basically, that's what solvent does in your skincare product. It ensures that all the other ingredients you're putting actually dissolve well for them to be stable and for you to apply it and for you to be able to absorb it into your skin. That is what solvent does. Now, ethanol was the third ingredient in this sunscreen. And one thing you need to know when it comes to listing out ingredients in sunscreen, they usually list them from ingredients with higher concentration to that of lower concentration. So you can see here now that ethanol was the third ingredient in it. That was what triggered my skin to tell you that, oh, the concentration of the ethanol in this sunscreen was high. And that's why I said the first thing I smelled was the alcohol blast. That was the first thing I smelled. So understand my issue. Now, if you can take a look at my skin, I have bumps, right? It was when I started using this sunscreen. It's not like a serious type of thing. Reason is the internal is drying, so that was what affected mine, right? But is this sunscreen a good sunscreen? Yes, there are other ingredients you need to pay attention to. Now, if you don't have like a sensitive skin or like a dry skin, you can actually use this sunscreen. Yes. Another thing again, to which I am thinking is the cause of, oh, me reacting as much as I did, like the rashes, is because I don't use a lot of things on my face. Let me tell you what. I use a cleanser, which is the Dove Beauty Bar, the Sensitive Beauty Bar. I know Dove, they have both moisturizing ingredients and it cleanses your skin. So I know Dove is moisturizing. I also like to opt for products that are moisturizing. That was another reason I got this sunscreen, because it's a water gel. It's not oil based, it's water based. And I knew that, oh, it contained ingredients that's also hydrating as well. So I needed hydration too for my skin. I don't use a moisturizer because of how heavy it is. But now I'm trying to opt for like serums and essence that are actually moisturizing. Still not gotten one yet, but I will get one. When I get that, I think the risk for which my skin is going to react will actually reduce because my skin is extremely hydrated. So I'm using a cleanser that is hydrating, essence that is hydrating, then a sunscreen also that is hydrating because I am not doing the 10 step skincare routine based on my skin. I know what my skin likes and it reacts to evidence in product. So I don't use a lot of product the way a normal skin or maybe an oily skin or any type of skin will use a lot of products and they will go away with it. It will not work well for me. Let's continue. So we know that now ethanol is the third ingredient, and that was what triggered my sensitive skin. So take note. Again, there's another thing in this sunscreen, and that is the methyl paraben. Now, in my last video, if you've not watched it, please go and check it out. Go and check that video out. I talk about paraben in your relaxer. Yeah, xenoestrogens, right? Now, methyl paraben is here. Now, parabens, they are preservative. So the two ingredients that's not sitting well with me in this sunscreen is the ethanol, the solvent used. Though water is used as a solvent here, but the ethanol that is also used again as a solvent didn't work well for me, and also the methyl paraben. So those are the only two ingredients that I had issue with. But the very great thing about this sunscreen that I needed to know is that in as much it had two ingredients that didn't work, this sunscreen had other benefits, and that was why I actually got it based on the other thing that this sunscreen actually does, which is what I'm going to be talking about now. It contains good hydrating ingredients and it has like antioxidants. For example, it has philodendron bark extract that has been said to have potential anti inflammatory property and also antibacterial effect. Also, it has tocopherol acetate. Now, tocopherol is basically your vitamin E, which is a very good antioxidant and also something that helps to moisturize your skin. So, this is the purest form of vitamin E that is used in skincare, and this sunscreen has it. So, it has a form of hyaluronic acid, which is the sodium hyaluronate, which is very good in moisturizing. When it comes to skincare, hyaluronic acid is a very good moisturizing ingredient. Now, this sunscreen has like a cousin of hyaluronic acid that's going to help moisturize your skin. The methyl paraben is the last ingredient, so I'm guessing the concentration of the methyl paraben is low. So, guys, what's my total review about the sunscreen? It's a great sunscreen. I'll give it like a 6/10, but necessarily not the best. But it's actually a great sunscreen ahead of other chemical sunscreen. Based on the sunscreen ingredients in this sunscreen, it's not like the normal regular ones that has been listed to disrupt your hormones like the oxybenzone, right? Guys, information is reaching me that some of you are still watching our videos and reading our blog posts and have not yet subscribed to any. Now, for you to be part of our community, kindly subscribe, turn on your post notification button so you get notified every single time we post on our community channel and also post on our website for you to get information firsthand. As a skincare big sister, I've taken my time to write detailed product information about the Nivea sunscreen. So do well to go and read about it. The link is going to be in the description box below. And make sure that you turn on your post notification button on the website as well. So you get notified about your skincare products and you can make proper decisions. Till we meet again. Bye.